Ladies and gentlemen, the world is going to shit, but at least it's Comic-Con next week, for this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
We need a distraction. We need a distraction. We need a distraction because everything's going to hell. Hey.
And that's enough of that. Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute. Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Whoa, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
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 I'm Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and Michael.
And I'm worried about that Fulya that she's going over to America. And I'm more worried about it now.
Don't
Ah,
remind me.
Hey,
Oh, Michael.
you'll be in trouble if he gets in. You'll be in trouble when he doesn't win. Anyway, I'm a Michael.
Anyway.
Is that concerned?
Yeah.
A way to start the show. Jeez.
It's going to be an emotional roller coaster ride this
Yeah.
week, so we may as well start strong. Welcome to the show here, everyone. Thanks for being here. We are going to distract you from crap and
Yes.
and talk about things that we love, starting with the weekly watchings. Fulya,
Heck yes.
what are you watching?
What have you been watching? I have been watching some stuff and things, but not as much as I thought I would be. I have been trying to get to a point where I am caught up with MasterChef, but I have not. They are now, I believe today would be, at the time of recording, there's going to be it's the grand final episode, essentially.
You
and
didn't make it.
No, I didn't make it, so I'm like, yeah.
Bother.
Oh,
And thanks to the 10 Play app, when I went to go in to watch some, to go and catch up on my MasterChef episodes, the promo thumbnail popped up of the grand finalists, and I'm like, damn it, spoiled myself. Not what I wanted.
You.
Stupid app, but it's fine. I'll get there eventually.
That's
I'm
annoying.
like 8 episodes out. 9 if we include tonight.
Oh. Would you rather be watching that than being on here? Because I feel the same way, because House of Dragon's out and I haven't seen it yet.
I had today off work. Sorry.
Screw you. I have to watch it with my wife. Because it's a show that we can watch together.
Anyway.
Yeah, nice.
Also continuing my watch through of X-Men. Still enjoying that. Really enjoying it. I think I finished season. What did I mention last time? I think I finished
3?
season 3.
I think
Was
you're
it
in 3.
I don't
I'm
remember.
in 3. My brain.
Something.
Not great right now. Yeah, I'm in season 4. I'm on episode 7 of season 4. Yeah, really cool. Really enjoying, still continuing on with my love of the X-Men. It's still very good. And then this past week, I actually got this little bit of a hype for myself, and ended up watching quite a few episodes of One Piece. Caught up with a little bit of One Piece. I am now on episode 152, so I have finished season 5. Season 5 was a short season. It felt like more like a filler season because it was like about 10 to 12 episodes long. So it's a very short season. but it still had stuff in there that is kind of relevant to what happens in continuation, which is really cool. So yeah, really still like, I think it's mostly because of the fact that this weekend I went to Metro Comic Con. So I had some fun and I went to a convention. And yeah, while I was walking around all the different, Artist Alley and all the exhibitor stands, a lot of them obviously showing off their merch and the stuff that they've made or the stuff that they're selling. It just kept yelling at me the One Piece stuff. Just, the One Piece merch just kept yelling at me. I'm like, all right, okay,
King
cool.
of the Pirates, where they're yelling at.
I want to be the king of the pirates, but no, not that. But yeah, so I ended up buying a couple of pieces of One Piece merch, essentially.
Did you buy the One Piece?
No, they didn't have the One Piece.
It's hard to find.
I don't even know what the One Piece looks like.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
Exactly. But I did sort of walk past a stand where they were advertising their comic book that they're making, and it's a Melbourne-based comic book too. Not the story itself, but the people who are making it and writing it and illustrating it are from Melbourne. Although when I watched their videos, they had American accents, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Anyway, but they were advertising their new comic book that they're about to start a Kickstarter campaign for, and it's called Jump Punch, which looks really interesting. I had a read of it. This is the for those of you who are listening on the audio podcasts. I am holding up the first chapter physical of Jump Punch, which is what they were giving out at the convention. It's free. And of course, they have a digital version on their Instagram page. So there is a link to the digital version of this exact same copy if you would like to check it out.
Is that the QR code that's actually on the front?
The QR code is for the Kickstarter.
Okay.
So their Kickstarter campaign starting out later this year. So I think it's November of this year. And I've got it saved because I actually read through chapter 1 of volume 1 and I actually really enjoyed the story. There's a bit of parkour going on, some martial arts. There's kind of like a very Yakuza kind of things kind of happening, very mafia-like. There's like a Hulk-like character by the name of Smasher. It just looks very interesting, and the story is quite humorous. We've also got a hacker girl as well. It's really cool. I kind of like it. Explore a world of magic, mayhem, and martial arts, essentially, is the tagline to Jump Punch. And if you'd like to check out the actual first chapter that I got to read, go to @JumpPunchComic on Instagram, and you'll be able to find the link to the digital version of this comic.
Nice.
And so yeah, it's really cool. The Kickstarter link will also be there too, so you'll be able to check it out there. But the big main reason why I actually went is because there was a certain person who was there, and I was very excited to be there to meet him. And it was Paul. Wait, who?
Paul.
Who am I?
Paul Dano.
One
One of the Dano brothers.
She's so excited.
Everyone
She
got
said the
name.
wrong name. It's fine. It's fine. We've all been there. It's.
Holy crap! What's his first name? Shit! My mind's gone blank.
It's Patrick.
Patrick. Hey, I knew it started with a P. Paul was the first thing that came to mind.
It's all right.
Patrick
Paul's the
Warburton.
first thing in my mind right now. But it's fine too. It's so great.
I got to meet Patrick Warburton,
Woo!
the voice of Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey,
Also in Family Guy.
yes.
But also
Peter.
who was also in Seinfeld. And there were a few people who dressed up as that character for photo, like with face paints and the New Jersey Devils jersey
Yelling
for the
at people.
photo. Yeah, and hissing. So that was actually fun to see some of the people who actually dressed up as that, because he's a big name that came down to Australia. It's like
Pretty big.
very big, especially for Metro Comic Con. This is only their second year that they've been on.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very, very new in the convention space, in terms of being a name in the convention space. But they are run by people who have run events like this in the past, and that's the Hub Productions.
Yes, correct, yes.
Yeah. So they actually, decided to put together a new convention, Metro Comic Con, as it is. Very akin to like a Metropolis sort of a scene that they're trying to, like a very superhero sort of a theming going on. The way that they name all the areas on the maps that they create. So, very superhero like. It's very cool. I really like it.
And
but
you got to see the tick.
I got to see the tick.
Indeed.
So I got a photo with him. If you want to check out the photo of me and him, I did post a digital version of it up on my socials at Foolish Fuji if you'd like to find me on X or Instagram. But the other thing that I also got was his autograph, and I decided to go with a Kronk.
Oh
photo.
my god! All right, I need to maximize the one memento.
And
Aww.
yeah, and he's like,
lots of love.
He noticed the shirt that I was wearing because it said "squeak squeakity squeakins," and that's pretty much what he's written on one side of the photo, and I loved it. But you know what? The best part about that whole experience was when I went to go pose for the photo with him. He saw me with that T-shirt. He was like, squeak squeakity, and then smiles for the photo, and I'm like. I was already smiling because I'm meeting this man, and then all of a sudden he says that, and my smile just broadened even more. Amazing.
Yeah, it's a great day for you.
Yeah, I absolutely loved my experience at this year's Metro Comic Con. Well done to the Hub Productions for putting on a great event. Yeah. So much fun. I did a bit of shopping too. I did buy some stuff. But you can see that also on my Instagram post. That'll have my haul of things that I bought. I bought a few things. Actually, I've held back quite a bit since pre-COVID times. I don't spend as much this time around. I'm getting a bit more picky about the things I buy. And most of the time when I am I'm trying to hold back on buying too many prints because I've bought so many prints to the point I haven't hung them up. There's nothing on my walls. They're all still
same.
away.
Mine are all still tucked away. All my photos.
They're all tucked away on a shelf in their sleeves or whatever. And I feel bad for not being able to display them because the artistry and the creativity that goes into making these prints are absolutely amazing. And I keep buying them because I want to support these artists, but I just haven't had a chance to find a way to hang them up. And I want a lot of them I want to actually frame because they're worthy of being framed rather than just chucking on some blue tack and just putting it up on the wall. And especially because my parents have repainted the walls and they don't want me using blue tack.
Mm-hmm.
Nails. Time to use nails.
Nails.
Learn to use nails, and then if you change your mind, you can always buy like putty just to cover up the
3M hooks is what I use, and that's what I will stick with.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so just a great experience at Metro Comic Con. Had a great time, so looking forward to the next one.
Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Fulya.
That's all right.
I'm very happy for you. That's
and
very, very cool.
That is why I am donning the Poison for Cusco mug.
I saw the llama earlier, and I didn't even click. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, this is the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Cusco's
poison.
Yes,
Mission
but
accomplished.
it is currently the koala poison.
Koala poison. Love it. Love it. Love it. Alrighty, Mike.
Hello.
What have you been watching the past week?
Well, not much variety for me because I've been knuckling down to be watching a lot of X-Men. I've been watching, yes, same as you, Fully. I've been watching X-Men, the animated series, and I've finished season 4. I'm up to I'm up to 5, and there's only 10 episodes.
Okay, so you're ahead of me now.
Yeah, so I'm up to season 5, and there's only 10 episodes, so I can just knock that off in 2 days. But I've been getting into the movies again. I have watched the first movie, but this week I just completed the trilogy. It was okay, I guess. I got my gripes, but still fun to watch. On the fun to watch but bad bandwagon, I watch Wolverine Origins. Because you have to, because there's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine.
They're gonna reference it.
Got so much reference.
Oh damn! I think I need to go and watch that now.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I think too. Yeah.
Some of these are rewatches, and I'm excited because I'm going to be watching movies that I haven't seen. So I'm actually. What did I watch? I watched both Deadpools as well, and that was just fucking fun and funny and cool. I finally get into the Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy versions. The new X-Men. So I finished. So I've rewatched First Class, and that's a bit of fun. Still not liking how they handled Hank McCoy. I did not like it at all. He should have been Beast like from the start, and then Mystique should have had that parallel from the very beginning, and not he turns into a monster. I'm okay with it now. In the next scene, it's like could have had no stakes, no stakes at all.
That's fair.
And the makeup looks stupid. Anyway, sorry, there's a bit of a glitch. No, it's all good. So I'm looking forward to the new ones because the only newer X-Men was Days of Future Past for me. I haven't seen The Wolverine, and I haven't seen Dark Phoenix or Apocalypse, so that's going to be fun. Not sure if I'll watch New Mutants or not, but if there's time. And I'm going to finish it all off with Logan because I know I'm probably going to cry at that. And I haven't actually watched Logan for years now. And I'm going to see if it's going to be okay. Because I did cry at the end because, it was 2017 and I recently became a new dad. And that year was very tough for me of watching Logan. Dealing with, dealing with a daughter, and also Guardians 2 came out as well. So
it's like the superhero movies are just like
I came here.
You're a new parent.
Yeah, I came here to be entertained because it's superhero movies. It's supposed to be dumb fun, but it made me emotional. Yeah, so that's what I've been basically doing, watching some X-Men, and I'm just gonna top it off with Wolverine. So that's what I've been mostly watching. With my One Piece, I've finally from last week, I finally cracked 100, and you're 50 ahead of me. So I got priorities. I got X-Men to watch.
So what you're saying is Fulya is Master Chef. And you are Fulya trying to chase.
Yes, I am Fulya trying to chase Fulya.
Yes.
I'm chasing that purple dragon.
Ouroboros.
Yep.
Arr.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a bit of fun. And also, yes,
Nice.
I watched The Boys and the last week's version of House of Dragon. Boys, it's getting good. I'm scared because we got the last episode coming up, and I think it's going to be an assassination, and it's quite topical for the world today.
The timing.
Yes, and House of Dragon is about the imbalance of power and who can wield it. Yay! Yay!
Real worldness in our fantasy and sci-fi superheroes.
And I'm worried about Huey as well.
Huey's been through enough. We need to leave him alone.
I think he's going
Too
to.
much.
I think he's going to mentally snap because previous episode he broke down because he was
Yeah.
violated, and he was violated in this episode. Because
Remind me how he was violated in this episode.
because he thought he was having sex with
Ah,
and it turned out to be
yeah.
someone else. And if he
Yeah.
finds out he had sex with someone without his consent,
yeah. And then to top that off, the fact that Annie's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. Okay. No. A snappage. I think he's gonna.
he's going to snap.
He's gonna do a real Thanos and just snap.
Yes.
Oh.
I feel for Huey,
Oh no.
the lovely boy.
Lovely sweet boy.
And I'm really loving the memes that are coming out of The Boys, especially with just people doing impressions of Butcher. I was saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, Huey, Homelander killed my wife and took my bloody son. Whoop whoop."
That was good.
So what about you, Kendall? Are you whoop whoop?
Whoop whoop. So whoop whoop. I was gonna say I saw something on probably Instagram about how like Carl Urban loves this character because people will just come up to him on the street and be like, "Oi, cunt!" Like just fucking rip into him. Oh, it's gold. Anyway, yeah, The Boys. I am up to date as is obvious by what I previously said. Yeah, going well. Going good. Going intensely. But yeah, I can't believe we're at the end of that season now. One more episode to go. I tell you what, I thought Ryan was gonna snap, or do something on live TV. Instead he just walked out. I'm like, okay, all right. We're gonna
But-
save the show for next week.
Yeah, but the nuggets are there of him choosing which path.
He's finally ponied up and picked a side, which is nice. And I really like that moment of Butcher seeing him do that, and the fact that Ryan did that on such a public stage, and mentioned him and his mum and all of that. It was really nice. Yeah. So shit's gonna go down the last episode of The Boys. It's gonna be very intense, but I'm looking forward to watching people die, because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. Yeah. Speaking of people dying, House of the Dragon, was quite emotional last week. No. Yeah. We lost one of our first big main characters, Rhaenys,
Yeah.
the queen that never was. Yeah, I didn't know she died. I haven't read the book, so I didn't know she died prematurely. But what a way to go out. That episode last week, like that whole sequence of the dragons fighting each other and the battle scenes and everything. Oh, nearly knocked my teeth. We're okay. I shouldn't talk with my hands in the pockets. But yeah, it was amazing. It was great. Definitely the best episode of the season so far. and I love how this show is making me. It was making me start to really, and I still do sympathize a little bit with Aemond. But I was just starting to really get on his side, and then he fucking kills Rhaenys. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep hating you. Fine. Cool. That's alright. And yeah, and Aegon's just a
Real piece of
poor
work.
sap. Real piece of work as well, but can it just I don't know. He's yeah. But anyway, this week's episode was very much a filler episode. I won't spoil Mike, but have you touch base with pretty much every storyline that's going on, and but yeah, not a lot. There's some, I think, because it's House of Dragon. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, great. Yeah, but no, it was it was good. Definitely, it was not as good as last. But yeah, it was a intriguing episode. I'm really starting to wonder what Alicent is gonna do. Because yeah, she not to spoil too much, but she keeps getting like they're leaning towards pushing her out of it's on its way after this week. So I'm starting to root for her a little bit. Anyway, but yeah, good stuff. I don't think I have anything to mention. Really, except the fact that I have binging way through Abbott Elementary on very, very funny, charming, wholesome comedy show set in a school. It's filmed office, Parks and Rec capture this, low-end public school in Philadelphia and the lives of the teachers, their students. Yeah, so there's obviously a lot of eye contact with them. And yeah, it's really, really good. Quality characters and some of the best use of looking at the camera I've seen in one of these kinds. Some of these characters give John Krasinski, just in terms of the facial expressions, the comedic timing. Like one person will be like they were talking to the camera about something. She said something a bit like stupid that we as the audience and then you have this other side character walk on by and just and just look at the camera like, really? It was very, very, very yeah, so it's a really good show. If bloody those kinds of American sitcoms, then I'm giving Abbott Elementary a go, especially because it's been cleaning up at the SAGs and the Emmys, rightfully so, because the performances and the writing is very, very good. Very, very good. Are we allowed to hold for a second?
Yes.
Yes, because it looks like technical difficulties are happening. I have been informed. What do I do?
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
And off again.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Would we like to get out of the chat and come back? Maybe.
Me?
Hmm.
Leave the call and join back in?
Yeah.
Okay, I can try doing that. So
I don't know what's going on. It's your mic's just cutting in and out for some reason.
Yeah, it's doing its thing again.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I don't know what to do about it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
try that
gonna,
and see what happens.
I'm gonna bye. Sorry, apologies to all of the people watching.
That's
I'm
all right.
sure,
I'll play the
so
music.
many of them. The technical difficulties music. Okay.
All right. This is me playing music.
This is the news, the nerdy news.
That kind of-
The nerds that talk about the nerdy
Elevator
news.
music.
That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of
I hear
nerdydom,
nothing, so-
the hostess with
I hear
mostest,
nothing.
Kendall
I hear
Richardson.
nothing.
Take it away, Kendall.
Okay, I'm going to talk for a bit. Tell me if anything has changed. Has anything... Any changes?
No.
If try maybe just sort of say stuff where your volume goes up and down, because sometimes I think it's something to do with your volume.
Yeah, so
Like
don't
the
be
way you-
very high.
No, no,
Mm.
Very
because if
low.
it cuts off, it means the suppressor is on, and we need to switch it off.
Right, okay. How do I turn that off? Can you hear that?
Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not cutting off or anything, but just for future reference, what in Discord, you know how you got your direct messages list of friends
Yes.
inside there.
Yes.
At the bottom, it's got your controls for when you're in the voice call, in the video call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a little next to the little hang up button. There's another one that's called noise suppression powered by Crisp.
Yes.
You may need to switch that off if that's what's causing it potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll turn that off. That's off.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay. Alright.
All right, we'll try that and see how we go.
Am I still... Is anything...
No, you're
being
good.
noted? Sounds okay.
You
Okay.
sound-
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
You're sounding all right. Yeah.
Alright.
Great.
Just double check the your audio settings just to make sure it's using the right mic. Just double check that.
This is how we do it. My input is the Yeti and my output is my speakers, so that looks correct.
If that's correct to you, then we are good to continue.
Uptown girl, she be living in a white bed.
Sounds fine.
Sounds good.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. Wonderful. Well, thanks for letting me know.
That's okay.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Nice.
All right.
We'll-
Well,
We'll
probably
be
appropriate.
transitioning into nerdy news now, or
Yes. All right. Let me
Yep.
come back in because I finished talking about
Mhm.
my weekly watchings. All right. Let me get my stuff up. Okay. Well, that's the weekly watchings then. That's it. That's done. Which means now it's time to move on into the nerdy news.
This is the news, the nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest,
Okay.
Kendall Richardson.
Nerdy
Take
news
it
time.
away, Kendall.
Yeah. Apologize in advance if I get emotional. But I'm probably gonna get emotional. Yeah. So the last few days have really been kind of a blow for fans of popular culture, of movies, of TV shows, in terms of people that we've lost. It just seems to be one day after the other this weekend, and it's just really awful to see some of these names, especially because all of them have left too soon. I'm gonna just start in the reverse order of what I've written, just because I'm gonna get them all out in one, and then we'll just go round and round. So firstly, Shelley Duvall passed away at the age of 75. For those younger than us listening may not know her, but if you've seen The Shining, you will know her, of course. Just absolute force of nature to go up against Jack Nicholson in that film. And to deal with Stanley Kubrick and his meticulous style of filmmaking and what he kind of put her through during that production is very notorious in Hollywood. But the the proof is in the pudding, and she was an exceptionally talented actress. You know, she made her mark in film in the 70s, and that was, for me, that's like the iconic, like when I think of Shelley Duvall, I think of The Shining, straight away. She was also Olive Oil in Popeye, alongside Robin Williams. I've never seen that movie. I watched the cartoon as a kid, but I haven't seen the live action film that they made in the early 80s. Mixed reviews from what I hear, but yeah, it'd be cool to check out one day. But yeah, very sad to hear that she's left us too soon, as well. Richard Simmons, the iconic fitness guru, passed away at the age of 76, a day after his birthday. His birthday was on the 12th, and then he left us on the 13th, and you know, which is just really shocking because he posted on his socials, on his birthday, thanking everyone for all the birthday wishes and saying that he'd never gotten so many before, and you know, lots of love and all of that, and it was just really, really sweet. And so it's just really, really sad that he's sadly passed away. But again, like, you know, an older generation will know who he is, especially American. Like, I don't know how prolific he was here in Australia in terms of exposure, but for my experience, Richard Simmons, I just think of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Very iconic episode of that show. One of the, you know, 3, maybe 4 episodes of that show that I'm just in tears from what's going on, and I can't. And he went for it. Richard Simmons on that episode, he went for it. He was there for everything. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it was just, it was fantastic. So yeah, he made a lot of people smile, and you know, promoted good well-being and good health, and looking after yourself, and that's a really noble cause. So very sad to see that he's passed away too soon. Now I have to talk about the one that I'm going to cry about. Okay. So obviously it's been all over the news today. Shannon Doherty passed away at the age of 53. She'd been battling cancer for almost 10 years, and was told last year that it was terminal, which is, you know, just terrible. I didn't actually realize that, so I learned that today. I'm like, oh, great. But yeah, I'm a massive Charmed fan. That show was very formative for me, in terms of, you know, it came out at the right time in terms of what I was watching and experiencing, and you know, as I was getting into my love for fantasy, and you know, I had this real obsession with witchcraft when I was in like late primary school, early high school, like, you know, because Buffy was also a thing, and then you know, Harry Potter was really taking off. So it was just this whole surgence of like witches and wizards at the end of the 90s. And Charmed was a massive part of that. And and I adored her character, Prue, like more than I can say. She's my favorite character in the show, and they unfortunately had to kill her off because there was some behind the scenes drama on that show between some of the stars, but I won't go into that because that's not what we're here to talk about. But the 3 seasons she spent on that show were just like, there's before Prue left, and then there's after Prue left. That's like the 2 really defining eras of that show, at least for my estimation. And she's just a great performer. She was just such a great screen presence. Like, I mean, not just in Charmed, like Beverly Hills 90210. I mean, come on, Brenda, like, iconic. Heathers is another huge thing. That was the film that really catapulted her into, you know, superstardom. I have a soft spot, of course, I do, for Mallrats. You know, and seeing Kevin Smith's tribute to her today was really sweet, and you know, bittersweet at the same time. But this really hit me like a truck last night when I found out. I'm like trying to go to bed. My mum texts me, and I'm like, "Oh, great!" No, I was in disbelief for a bit. But yeah, it's really sad, and you know, she said she wasn't afraid of death. You know, she just said she didn't want to die because she had so much more she wanted to do and life to live and things. You know, but you know, she wasn't. The fact that she wasn't afraid of it, she said she knew where she was going. You know, because she believed she was a good person. I think she was a good person too, despite what people said about her. But yeah, I'm gonna miss her a lot. So anyway, I made it through without crying. We're good. Oh god. Yes, just terrible news. Fulia, I'm gonna throw to you now. Do you have any thoughts, any memories of any of these stars that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, look, you know, it's really sad to hear that we're losing some iconic, you know, people in our zeitgeist, and they've all done some really great things, in our lifetime. So, you know, the news of everyone that we've mentioned passing away in the past week, pretty sad. Shelley Duvall, yeah, I've never watched it. I'm sorry. Like there are things from the three that I hear. The only one that I have seen in on TV has been Richard Simmons, to be honest. And like you, Kendall, is because of Whose Line. And yeah, it's like the most memorable thing for him, with me at least, that I remember with Richard Simmons, and I know that he was definitely very very high up there in terms of like fitness and health, uh trying to promote all of that sort of, you know, healthy living sort of lifestyle, um but he done it in such a fun way, and it was really cool. But the moment I heard about Shannon Doherty, I immediately thought of you, Kendall. Yeah, like I know, because I've never watched any of the shows that she would have been in, or any of the films, but I know of her because of the fact, you know, because, you know, thanks to you, Kendall, bringing her to my sort of, you know, forefront, of what she's from and what she's done and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I was pretty heartbroken when I saw the news, and yeah, I am sorry. I virtual hugs to you, Kendall.
Thanks.
But
Thanks.
also, you
Yeah.
know, big big shout out to the friends and families of
Yeah.
all three of these people.
Mhm.
I hope they're doing okay, and you know, just thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's where it's at.
Mm.
Okay, Michael, what do you have for us? Any commemorations on these three very talented people?
Yeah, Shelley Duvall, big, like a screen queen,
Yeah.
adjacent, but but her performance is memorable, especially especially with Jack Nicholson in The Shining, is absolutely fantastic. That movie, even though it's nothing like the book, but some say it's more of a treat if you've got someone like Kubrick at the helm of something that he says, "Oh yeah, that's nice," and throws it away and does his own thing. Yeah, a bit of a shock. Way too young, being in your 70s, and I have seen bits and pieces of Popeye, and overall, her performance of Olive Oil is phenomenal. I mean, she pretty much is Olive Oil. It's like what you see as the cartoon, that's her.
Nice.
So that's great. And that movie, yeah, it's like the transition from the 70s to the 80s, of where everything in the 80s was more tightened up and everything, but but the way they filmed this was like a 70s movie where everyone was like talking over each other, and it's more of a, you sit down and watch the audience is like a fly on the wall of everything. And it's like it's a weird sort of entertainment sort of thing. So So and it sort of fails at that of being like gripping. Is like this is a little bit boring, but the sets that they build for that are still there. So to this day, they basically built an entire seafront town, and it's still there. And people live there. And it's it's great. Richard Simmons, of course, is sort of pop culture icon, like especially in America. And the only reference that I know of him, it wasn't Whose Line Is It Anyway, but it was The Simpsons.
Simpsons as well.
Yeah, because they definitely do reference of his infomercials and all that. So it's kind of like Bob Ross in a way, like those sort of characters. Yeah, and Sharon Doherty. I didn't watch Charm or anything like that, but yeah, I have seen Mallrats because Kevin Smith, and also she was in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Yes, that's right.
But not as her character in Mallrats. She was playing herself, and she was in. I can't remember which movie that they said it was, but it was one. It was like a Scream movie, and they actually had Wes Craven playing himself in that as well.
Yeah, I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
It's like she's like the Sydney sort of person, and she rips off the mask. It's like who are you really? And it turns out to be the monkey. She says fucking Miramax. She calls cut and just goes straight to Wes Craven. It's like, you're not even fucking trying, are you? But people say people love monkeys. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a real shame. Our childhood is disappearing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Too soon and too fast.
So heads up for everything. Please no more.
Yeah,
Please no more.
Let's hold off a bit.
Yeah.
Shall we? Okay, let's turn these frowns upside down because we've got some more news to talk about. Our next item is some more Spider-Man Noir TV series news. They've actually decided to change the name. It was announced a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it. They were going to call it Noir, but they've gone, no, we don't know if people are going to get that this is a Spider-Man thing. So we're going to change it to Spider Noir, which I kind of like a little bit more. But also the original title was fine, so I don't know. I'm like I feel like Spider Noir was maybe a more obvious go-to than Noir, but anyway, that's fine. So it's changed its name, but in cooler news, we've got some casting being announced. Joining Nicolas Cage in this, we've got Lamorne Norris, very famous for New Girl. He is going to be playing Robbie Robertson, which is another reporter at the Daily Bugle. I don't think he's been done live action before, so this might be the first time for him, which is exciting. And then the one I'm really extra excited about is Brendan Gleeson. Mad Eye Moody himself is going to be apparently playing the villain in this show. They haven't said who his character is just yet, but yeah, the villain is who he'll be portraying, and yeah, I'm here for it. He's a very talented actor. So I look forward to seeing what he brings to this world. I'm keen for this. I hope it's good. And it's probably good that it's not being. Well, hopefully it's good that it's not being made by Disney, but but we'll see.
It's still Sony, though.
It's still Sony, exactly. That's why I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I should rethink that. Yeah. But it'll be cool at least to see what a Marvel TV show can look like without, Marvel Studios behind it. Even if it is Sony, at least the Spider-Verse stuff, is probably the best stuff that they've put out in recent years, even if it is animated and this is live action. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Fulya, do you have any thoughts on this? What do you make of the new name?
I don't know. I just Spider Noir just seems a bit weird.
Weird.
It's just what? Just go all out. Just say Spider-Man Noir. Like I know it's long, but
Not even
it
that
makes more,
long.
it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Or
can,
Spider-Man Noir.
I don't think they can call it a Spider-Man because of rights issues and stuff.
Right.
So they're
okay,
trying to
that's-
go as close as they can without in breaching.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Disney's doing another Spider-Man TV animated show. which is-
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems a bit silly that they can't just use the name. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Or Spider-Man without the
Whatever.
hyphen. Oh.
Yeah, true. That could also work. Who knows?
Spider-Man without the vowels. Spiderman.
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 I don't know. Yeah, the name's just a bit weird. But the names in terms of casting is pretty cool. Lamorne Morris, he's new to me, to be honest. So it's the first time I'm seeing him.
You didn't watch New Girl back
No,
in the day?
I didn't. No.
Yeah, fair enough.
But Brendan
like-
Gleeson.
I like the old
Really cool.
girl.
But
Oh,
Brendan
boy.
Gleeson, I am very excited to see that he's been cast. Look, he can play. I know for a fact that he could definitely play a good antagonist character. So
Yeah.
it'll work out really well for him. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's gonna be cool. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to just seeing some more, as in, like something visual now from this particular
Definitely.
series. Yeah, if we can just get a little teaser trailer or something like that, that'd be nice. But I guess they're still, yeah. But I guess at the moment they're still quite in their pre-production stage, and they're still trying to get all the fill it out.
Yeah, they probably
much as
haven't
possible.
started
Yeah.
too much photography yet, I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll you're right. I think the trailer seeing some kind of visuals on
Even
some level.
even if they're set photos
Mm,
or something, once
Yeah.
they start filming and all that,
Yeah.
would be good. But
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. We shall see.
Mm.
Mike, how about yourself? Does this make you more excited for the show, or are you just like, yeah, this is cool, whatever?
Probably on par of my excitement for the show. Kind of makes sense because they want to say yes, it is a Spider-Man without saying it's a Spider-Man. With a couple of things, maybe because the Spider-Man stuff without being Spider-Man, like the Madam Web sort of things, they're sort of maybe slowly shying away from that of trying to get a Spider-Man thing happening without being a Spider-Man. And it's interesting that there's going to be a live action as well of how they're going to do this. I can't wait. Can't wait to see sort of the concept art of what's going on, as well as the cast as well. If they're casting people for the Daily Bugle, does that mean we could get a J. Jonah Jameson? And come on, we gotta get J.K. Simmons back. Not necessarily looking like J. Jonah Jameson in the movies, but maybe he's completely bald but with glasses. It's that variation, but he still sounds like J. Jonah Jameson. And Brendan Gleeson, I see him as a Doc Ock maybe, but I don't know. Maybe it's a completely different rogues gallery in noir.
Noir.
I'm not that familiar, but can't wait.
Nice. Very nice, thank you. All right, our last item in the news this week. This is rather interesting, and I don't know if it's entirely necessary, but it's happening because Disney is going to Disney. We are getting a sequel to The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh,
On the plus side, at least, Meryl Streep is returning as the iconic Miranda Priestley. And also returning is Emily Blunt, who that was like the film that kind of propelled her to her career. So really cool to see her, going to be returning back to this character as well. Yeah, but no word on Anne Hathaway just yet. I'm sure they'll find a way to get her involved because, I mean, at least you've got Meryl because, like, most people when they think of this movie, they think of like, I mean, well, there's like the iconic Chanel boots line that most people know, but then there's like a lot of the very famous scenes feature Meryl Streep's character. And in fact, when I was watching Only Murders in the Building and just admiring her performance in that show and I was just comparing her to Miranda and just being like, these are the two polar opposite human beings.
it's like Meryl Streep can act.
I know. Who would have thought?
Who'd have
Oscar
thunk it?
winner. Oscar winner. Probable EGOT winner somewhere, somehow, I'm sure. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, apparently this movie the story is going to be following the decline of magazine sales, physical magazine sales. So, something to do with that will be happening. So, yeah, I don't know. We don't need this. But hey, if it's a good enough story and they've got Meryl coming back, then maybe it'll be all right. I don't know. We'll see. Fulya, what are your thoughts on this? Are you a fan of the original movie? Have you seen it?
I'm pretty sure I've seen it once,
Mm.
and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I don't know that we really need another one, to be honest. Just leave it as its classic self. It's actually really good the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that they want to bring it back and make it a bit more sort of in modern times, I don't know. We can take it or leave it. I'm happy to just leave it as it was. Don't really need another one. But I'm sure they'll try to get Anne Hathaway back into it at some point, unless they find a story where they don't need Anne Hathaway in it. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mike, do you have any thoughts on this? Have you seen the original film yourself?
Nah. I have no concept of if there could be a sequel or not. If Meryl Streep is, I just know that Meryl Streep is the devil. So
yes,
that
and
she
she
become
wears
fully
Prada.
formed in the third act of the first film. That she becomes demon, like legend. And then I think it's like Anne Hathaway has to battle the devil with a fiddle or something. Something to do with
yeah,
that.
that's definitely what Devil Wears Prada is.
Yeah.
You
So
hit it on
you're
the
describing Devil Went Down to Georgia because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
Meryl
I am.
Streep's character is trying to find a certain guitar pick, and then Jack Black and Kyle Gass needs to battle the devil for the pick of destiny. I haven't seen it. I have no qualms if there's a sequel. I'm just a bit annoyed that go back to the well. We need new IP. We need to make this a franchise. So no, I don't want this.
That is fair. That is fair. I think we're all in agreement. This movie does not need to exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make another
Here we are.
Spawn movie. That's got the devil in it, I think.
Well, I think they were trying to make another Spawn movie. or a Spawn movie. They made one, didn't they? I
Oh,
can't
probably.
remember.
Well, they have made one, yeah.
I think they were trying to make another one, and it kept falling through.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get too off tangent
Oh,
here.
please. Okay.
On a tangent, please, because we have got to roll on up to a most epic trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Hee-ha.
I'm the only one can hear it.
It's trailer park time. It's trailer park time. And boy, howdy. I mentioned at the beginning of the show that Comic-Con's next week. It seems some people could not wait for San Diego Comic-Con to drop some trailers because we've got 2 Marvel trailers to talk about today.
Too
Starting
marvelous.
It's so marvelous, Mike. It's so marvelous.
It's so marvelous. It's too marvelous.
Too marvelous. Too marvelous.
To
Too
comprehend.
serious.
Yeah.
Too furious. Yes. Anyway, I fucked up the joke. Cool. Captain America:
Was there a
Brave
joke?
New World. Yeah, there was a very poor. There was a very poor attempt at a joke. In there somewhere. Oh, Captain America: Brave New World. Yes, this is our first teaser, our first look at Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie in the title main character position. Yep. It was an interesting teaser. I didn't mind it. I like the fact that they're kind of seem to be going for a contemporary Winter Soldier vibe, like bringing back that political thriller sort of theme, that vibe that a lot of people resonated with and really liked about Winter Soldier. So that's kind of cool. Seeing Harrison Ford as General Ross, nay President Ross now. That was kind of mind blowing for me as a lifelong Harrison Ford fan to see him, finally in this role, in a Marvel movie, MCU.
Finally
It's
seeing him as president. Like we've never seen that before.
Yeah, no, I never seen that.
President
Get
Ford.
off my plane. Yes. But yeah, so I got a kick out of seeing him. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with the character. Of course, the late William Hurt originated the role. So it'll be really interesting to see what Harrison Ford can bring to the table. I like the joke about the mustache. It felt very Don Cheadle at the start of Iron Man 2. It's like, I'm here. Let's not talk about it. That whole thing. It made me laugh a bit.
And of course, Harrison Ford would say, "I'm not growing a fucking mustache."
Yeah, probably. He probably did. He doesn't. I don't think he looks great with facial hair anyway. Like, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents that no one asked for. Yeah. No, but it was good. It was a good trailer, like setting up. There's some shit going down with Isaiah Bradley. Obviously last time we saw him and Sam was in Falcon Winter Soldier.
500 years ago.
500 years ago now, yes, may as well be. So I'm really curious as to what the hell's going on there. Why is Isaiah trying to kill President Ross? Definitely has got to have something to do with the Red Hulk situation that the internet lost its shit over, it seems. A couple of people I've talked to about the trailer just like, Red Hulk!
Red Hulk.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, the only problem I had with this trailer, and I didn't want to have a problem with this trailer, but I do, it's because we talked about it like a month ago that they were doing reshoots and adding in Giancarlo Esposito. He is cut throughout this trailer quite consistently. And that concerns me, because they've only just added him into the movie and they're just like pushing him like real heavy. Like, look guys, look what we got. We got Gus Fring. We got Space Sauron here. Come on down to Brave New World. It's a Brave New World with Giancarlo Esposito. I don't know. It just felt a bit much to me. That's just But I'm like, hey, we talked about it. Like, we're all fans of him. We love him. He's fantastic. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope it's good. I hope we we get to find out more at Comic-Con next week during Marvel's panel. I believe they're doing a panel. I'm pretty sure. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. Fulya, did this trailer do anything for you? Does this pique your interest at all?
I mean, what timing for a trailer, right? If you know, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting timing going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from that. The trailer, like, it's interesting. I like the whole sort of like this whole co-conspiracy sort of thing that's happening. You know, there's a lot of there's a lot of political undertones going on with this particular trailer. You know, Sam doesn't want to be the title role of being Captain America. He's happy to just be there. And the whole notion of him not being a I don't even know if, because in the trailer, Harrison Ford's character pretty much at one point says that you may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. And then Sam says, yeah, you're right, I'm not. I don't know if the way that Harrison Ford said it was supposed to be kind of like he was having a go at him for something, or, you know, he was trying to encourage him in some way. I'm not sure. The context wasn't really there.
No, you're right. But I definitely think it was probably leaning negative.
Yeah.
It felt antagonistic.
Yeah, it kind of felt that way to me as well, but I was still sort of like
on the fence.
Kind of on the fence, yeah.
Context.
But look, we get to see him again. Get Sam Wilson back into the suit with his wings. It looks sick. I love it. But he's not the only one with wings. Someone else is up there. Yeah. There's another winged man up there, or woman, whoever it might be.
Goose.
Flying around with it. Or a duck.
Or a falcon.
A falcon.
Or eagle. Eagle. That makes more sense.
Bat.
Yeah. Wrong universe. Anyway,
Vulture.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with this trailer. I think that's all we need to see. We don't need to see anything else.
Yeah, it's a good tease.
Yeah, there's not too much like being shoved in our faces, and it just sort of gives us an idea of what to expect. So I'm okay with that. And then that last clip of the Red Hulk slamming down the shield, that's interesting. I've never really come across Red Hulk in anything before.
No,
me either. I haven't read the comics on it, so this would be really cool to be introduced to a new Marvel character. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yes, I think it's going to be a pretty heavy film, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, for sure. Mike, take it away. What did you make of this?
Finally got a trailer. It's finally coming out. When? Not yet. Yeah, it definitely gives off the vibes of like a Captain America movie, where it is going. Yeah, especially Winter Soldier sort of stuff and Civil War stuff. I think the unfortunate thing is you might have to watch the TV show to get the movie. So we're in that sort of area of what's going to happen. Maybe there's a quick explainer at the start, saying, "Hey, I got the shield from Steve Rogers, who is now on the moon, maybe somewhere, and yeah, and now I'm Captain America now, yeah, me." And I don't think they did say Sebastian Stan's not being Bucky in this, so, but I think he's doing Thunderbolts asterisks, so maybe that'll tie into this one. I just want a movie that isn't a stepping stone to the next thing. I want it to be its own thing. And I'm happy with this, but I'm sort of iffy that it's sort of a backdoor Marvel getting away with making a Hulk-centric movie without Universal going, hey, we still own that. Because there's a lot of Hulk stuff in this as well, like having Mr. Blue from all the way back when with the leader, maybe not the leader in this, somewhere.
That's right.
As well as doing the Red Hulk, which Red Hulk hasn't been around for too long. I think he first came out in 2007, 8, something like that. So fairly new, and it'll be a lot to do with the Hulk. So maybe you're gonna have to watch the Incredible Hulk to get this movie too, and then get confused that it's not the same Bruce Banner. But someone actually said that Ang Lee's Hulk is actually the first Hulk movie, because the Incredible Hulk is actually a quasi sort of sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
Because the end of Ang Lee's Hulk, he gets it, and then he goes to South America at the end, and then at the start of Incredible Hulk, he's already in South America. So you may have to watch Ang Lee's Hulk, and then Incredible Hulk, and then all of the Captain Americas. So we get to learn who Steve Rogers is. So, and then watch Infinity War, maybe Endgame. Well, definitely Endgame, especially the ending, because he gives the shield. Yeah. The things that you need to watch now are getting longer and longer. And if you're not catched up by now, then what's the point? It's kind of like the One Piece. What's the point? I already clocked down 100, and there's still another 1,000 to go.
Yeah, I literally saw a friend of mine post on Facebook yesterday that she just passed the 1,000th episode mark in One Piece. So
how many episodes do they watch a day or a week?
I don't know, but she's been watching it, like, I think a little bit longer than you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like,
she did
right,
in a week.
but the fact that she like made a post about it, I was like,
yeah,
that's a milestone.
That is.
I think someone actually did the calculations that you can do it within a year if you watch. Because people say, well, people watch like long films that go for 3 hours, and that's like, think about it, 3 hours, that would be 6 episodes a day. So if you do 6 episodes a day, and then all the way, it's like, and then you'll be all caught up, and just stop complaining. But I will complain because I want to watch this film. When is the film coming out?
When's the film? Well, we don't have to wait too long. Captain America: Brave New World will be in cinemas just in time for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
On the 13th of February next year.
I already conned my wife to go and watch the first Deadpool on Valentine's Day. I don't think I can do it again.
Do it again with another Marvel movie.
You've used your superhero card.
Yeah.
Already.
All done.
All done. All right, winner.
I will add that the speculation for Carl Esposito's secret character is a gentleman called George Washington Bridge.
Okay.
And apparently it's got nothing to do with Captain America or the Hulk. So...
Oh, okay, so I see how they've made that connection then. All right, that makes sense.
But it could be wrong. Boom. That's the biggest speculation. And I think he's more to do with Cable actually, which is weird.
Right.
Cable's weird.
Cable is an interesting character that we're not going to talk about now because we have another Marvel character to discuss right this second with
We totally do.
with our next trailer, and that is our first look at Agatha All Along.
Triple A.
Finally, talk about sequels to things that came out yonks ago. Yeah. This was a cool trailer. I liked this trailer. It was nice to see, Catherine Hahn back in action. Get a glimpse of what the show's going to be like. Definitely leaning into the horror vibe of her character in the world. So that's kind of a bit of fun. I'm curious to see how scary they're willing to take it. Probably not too much more than what we saw, but that's fine. But yeah, we don't really know too much of the story either. I mean, other than the fact that Agatha, obviously when we left her last, Wanda had kind of, put a spell on her to kind of put her in her place as punishment for what she did.
Put a spell on you.
Keep her in Westview. So she's kind of breaking through that and trying to find her way out, and she's got her own coven of witches. Yeah, so no, it looks good. It looks good. Apparently, it's also going to be a sort of a musical as well, because they brought back the Frozen songwriters that wrote the Agatha All Along theme from WandaVision. So yeah, so apparently there's going to be some songs in there somehow as well. But it looks good. I don't have too much to say other than that I'm actually looking forward to watching this. Like I was very on the fence about it, like not initially, because initially I was like, when this was announced, we were all just like, yeah, more, and then we were like, too much, send it back, too much, send it back. Yes, need smaller portions on the plates now. But yeah, so I've gone off it a bit, and they kept changing the name, and I still can't tell if that was part of the marketing or or just them being really, I don't know. But anyway, I think it looks like it's going to be a good time. So he's hoping the writing's good. That's I think the cast is going to be great. There's no question. But yeah, we shall see. Julia, I am really curious for your thoughts on this, given some of the imagery in this trailer.
Yeah, the theming of this whole show.
And the theming of this whole show, because they have put out a statement saying this is going to be a horror series, which is interesting. How is it working for you? How are you feeling about it?
So when I first watched this trailer, I was a bit iffy about it.
Oh,
I was like, no, I don't want to sit. I don't want to sit out of watching a Marvel show because it's a horror.
You watched Werewolf by Night, didn't you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. I mean, if it's as spoopy as as Supernatural was, then maybe. If it's that level of horror, then I'd be okay with it.
It probably will be.
Yeah,
I feel like from what it looked like in the trailer, that it's kind of that kind of vibe that I'm getting. I'm getting sort of more supernaturally sort of a vibe in terms of the horror themes. So it is kind of interesting. Just the way that they're going real dark with this show. I'm very curious. That first shot of that dead body. That was Wanda, wasn't it? That was 100% her for sure.
I mean, we don't know, but yeah, maybe. Like just as part of the illusion or whatever.
Yeah, illusion. Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's not her, then damn,
who is it?
Like, yeah, exactly. Because it really very much looks like her. So I have no idea what's gonna happen there. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see where it all goes, and especially considering the fact that there's like a little bit of timey-wimey stuff happening too. in this series by the looks of things. But yeah, I might give the first episode a go and see, because I know that they're going to be dropping the first 2 episodes at least, when it releases. And look, I'll watch the first one, see how I feel, and if I'm okay, I might continue. We'll see. I will let you know if I get spooked.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm still gonna give it a go. Like, it's a Marvel show.
Nice.
You know, I went into the, you know, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness with, you know, knowing that it was a Sam Raimi film, that it had quite a few sort of like horror themes in there too. I did genuinely get like a little bit jump scared. Like, there was a couple of jump scares in that, and I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to handle it well, but I was okay. Like, it was actually a lot tamer than I thought it was going to be. So, I was all right with that, you know, with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So I think, yeah, I may be okay with this one. So, yeah,
Great. All right.
I'll just make sure not to watch it at night.
Make sure the lights are on.
Yeah, lights are on during the day.
Yeah.
On my phone.
You'll be
So
fine.
the screen's small.
Small.
And they can't crawl through it that way.
No.
No headphones, just...
Yeah.
I don't want to be immersed.
No. No
behind your
immersion.
fingers.
I'll hold a pillow.
Alrighty. Michael, hello.
Hello.
What did you think of this trailer?
Finally, and yeah, it definitely looks interesting. I like the fact that they're doing something different and not necessarily like a part 2 of WandaVision, even though it technically is, where they're sort of diving into like the horror elements, and it's going to be funny, witty, and wickedy. Wiccan's going to be in this, which is going to be interesting because he's a figment of everyone's imagination of being Wanda's kid. Interesting. Yeah, the aesthetic is cool. They play homage to different horror genres, so hopefully Fulya will watch the whole thing and then just say, "Oh, I don't need to see The Exorcist because we saw Agatha do a crab walk."
Yeah, I was gonna say I did when the possession sort of scene came up, and I saw that, and they did the whole, you know, Exorcist thing, and I'm just like, oh no, I don't like that.
No, this is going to be your gateway drug to our favorite genre, Fulya.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
No, that's as far as I'll go. That's my lane.
But it's Disney.
No, no, you can't fool me with that.
Sure we can.
Sure.
No.
It's Marvel.
It's Marvel.
Look, you're not the only people who want to watch horror movies with me. Like, the moment I get to America during freaking Halloween week, my friends are like, "We'll come down. We'll watch horror movies together." I'm like, "No,
Come on.
I'm not watching no horror movie."
No.
What's...
We'll go. Well, you know what? We'll go to the cornfields. No, not going to cornfield. I know what happens in cornfields.
No, you don't. You don't watch them. So.
I don't need to watch them to know what happens.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I can judge a person by not paying attention.
Anyway, continue.
Yes, I quite enjoy this. I like the theory, and I'm sort of leaning towards it, that the titles of this TV show that we got is possibly the titles of each episode.
Right.
So,
yeah,
like Coven of Chaos and all those other ones are titles. And a bit like WandaVision where it's all like sitcoms from different eras. Like this one would be more like horror, maybe horror genres, because there's different sort of horror genres. Like you got the possessive one, you got the scary spooky one, you got witches of Eastwick, maybe. The Conjuring, even though I haven't seen any Conjuring movie. Shame on me.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that actually.
The
first one, at least watch the first one.
I'm not that big into possessive stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but
fair enough.
But you know, Exorcist is amazing because they had very little and they did so much. Correct. You should watch it, Fulya.
Yeah.
For the cinematography and how they did it.
No, thank you. I'm good. I don't need to freak myself out before I go to sleep.
Well,
or for the rest of my life, even.
Well, don't go to sleep then.
Cool.
Never
so I'll just be an
sleep
insomniac
again.
for the rest of my life.
Aren't we all in our 30s? 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
No, shut up.
What? You don't like seeing little girls?
Shut up.
Twin little
Moving
girls
on.
in corridors saying, "Play with us, Daddy."
Kendall, when are we getting it?
Agatha All Along will begin streaming on Disney Plus on the 18th of September. So only 2 months to go.
Ever and ever.
Maybe.
Alrighty. We got to move on with the rest of Trailer Park. We've got 2 more trailers to discuss because my god, it was a big week in trailers.
Ugh.
And this next one is very, very good. And I'm very happy as an internet.
Are you
fan
now?
girl.
Oh.
I'm really happy.
I'm trying. Okay.
Wonder why.
Yeah. Why?
But it's why.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you why. Yeah. So Gladiator 2. The trailer dropped for that last week. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I love Paul Mescal. I don't know if you guys are aware. I really like him a lot, and I love Pedro Pascal. So Mescal
Pascal. Yeah.
Together. I'm just kind of in heaven watching this movie. Fucking Joseph Quinn's in here as well. Fucking Eddie from Stranger Things plays one of the bad guys. I'm like, yep, okay. This movie is just ticking boxes for me. It's just really, really nice. I haven't even seen the first movie.
Neither have I.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But I will now. And now I have
But they're gonna
motivation.
reference a lot of things.
Well, yeah, clearly, yeah. No, I would have watched Gladiator one day. I just, for some reason, like when it came out, I was too young to watch it, and then I don't know, I was just never interested because I like Greek history. I'm not really into Roman stuff. Like I had a teacher in high school who was very anti-Romans because the Romans kind of came in and stole everything the Greeks did.
Well,
So,
yeah.
which is true.
And they changed the names of the same thing.
Yeah, literally. Like, yeah. Like, I'm sorry, it's Zeus, not Jupiter. Get fucked. So I think my anti-Roman side came out, and I just never watched Gladiator. And yeah, and now here we are, 24 years later.
What,
And
you don't like an
there's a sequel.
occupying force, like coming in and wreaking
and just
havoc?
dominating everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
What have the Romans ever done for us?
What the bloody hell did they do?
Gave us the roads,
I think it was the roads.
the aqueducts.
That's true. That's true. They did. Yeah. But anyway. So yeah, I haven't seen the original. I will watch the original definitely, of course, before I go and see this. But that all aside, my fangirling aside, and my failure as a cinephile. Yes, I this looks really good. It looks epic. I mean, it's Ridley Scott. You know, he has more hits than misses. Definitely some misses, but
This is the last of his good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, especially because he's been wanting to make this movie for a long time. So I'm really glad that he's finally had the chance to do it. And the scale looks amazing, looks epic. The cast is great. Like, not only Paul and Pedro, but you've got Denzel.
Yeah.
Denzel as well. Bridget Nielsen's coming back. She was in the first one. So yeah, and it just looks like a great kind of story of revenge and sort of a David versus Goliath story, and there's this rivalry going on between Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal's characters, and that's going to culminate in this very fierce gladiator style battle. So that's fun. And then the fact that they can fill up the Colosseum with water and there's sharks and shit in there, and that's going to be pretty intense. So yeah, it looks great. It looks really good. And and even if the story sucks, I'm still going to have a good time. So fine. I'm sure it'll be good. I can see this kind of being an Oscars contender come next year, I think, because it is coming out in that prime beginning of Oscar movie season. So yeah, I hope it's good. It looks great, and I'm so happy for Paul Mescal having this success that he seems to be on a trajectory. So he's a very, very, very talented performer. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does with this one. Cool. Fulya, what did you think of this trailer for Gladiator 2?
I haven't seen number 1. I don't think I'll be seeing number 2.
Oh, okay.
Not even for Pedro? Come on.
No, I'm sorry. Too violent. Too much.
It's the Colosseum.
It's too much for
of
my
course
eyes.
it's violent.
Yeah, exactly. So it's too much. I mean, yeah, okay. I did watch the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and that was worse, but still,
And that's
no excuse.
No, not gonna happen. Sorry, I'm not a fan of the Gladiator movies, to be honest. It's just not. It's not really catered to my taste, so I'm okay with that, and I don't need to watch it. And all the power to people who want to watch it. So
power to the people.
Yep. Right on. Okay. No worries. No worries.
Judean People's Front. The People's Front of Judea.
Okay, the only Roman movie I will support. Life of Brian.
Life of Brian.
Oh, because Dickus. All right. Fantastic. I haven't watched that in so long. I need to rewatch that. Mike, what did you think of this trailer? Obviously, judging by your reaction earlier, you have seen the original.
I have.
What are your thoughts on that, and what do you make of this?
Yeah, I watched it when I was too young. But it was a DVD that it was like a bunch of the first DVDs that I ever watched, like that and Shrek. Are the ones in my memory of actually watching. And Gladiator was very impressionable as a young teen, and yeah, it was quite phenomenal of its scope, and it was like my Ben-Hur or anything like that, and like the first sort of into what CGI sort of enhanced like the scope of everything, and you weren't sure what was real or not. It was like that. And the last movie, this is the first one, the last movie that Oliver Reed was in, because he sort of died in the middle of it, and the first sort of computer generated face of him in it, and they got so bit of a story behind that. And yeah, that was great. And watching this, I can sort of see why they call it number 2, because it's sort of a continuation of the place and not necessarily the people, because spoiler alert, not many people survive in the first one. So yeah. So The story looks interesting, and I'm not sure where they're going to go with it. It's essentially like, in a way, it's a bit like a sports film, where it takes place for like the Colosseum and people just fighting, and it's sort of like that, but it involves period piece, and I know it's probably historically inaccurate, but that's not what you go to movies for. And especially Ridley Scott, after a lot of people complain, it's like, this is not what Napoleon did. It's like, well, yeah, duh, it's a movie. If you want actual history book. History book. You know what a history book is? You go to a library. What a library is? It's a collection of books in a place that you can go to, and it's for free. Oh my god. So I'm sort of I wasn't really sure about this film, but after seeing the trailer, it's like it's tickling my fantasy, and a lot of great people in it. I don't know who Paul is. I've never seen a Paul.
You should watch well, two movies I recommend. One is called All of Us Strangers with Andrew Scott. Amazing movie. You'll cry.
That's on Disney Plus, isn't it?
That's on Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another movie he was in with Saoirse Ronan last year called Foe that I really like. Actually, you should watch After Sun. He plays a dad, and it's him and his young daughter on a vacation together, and it's sad.
Oh,
he was nominated for an Oscar. He makes all these sad things. He just tugs on the heartstrings. But yeah, he was nominated for an Oscar for that role.
okay.
After Sun. Yeah. Very good movie.
After Sun as an SON or SU?
SUN.
Oh, okay.
After Sun, one word. Yeah.
So night.
Night the movie, yes.
Night the movie. Came
Yes.
night. Anyway, yeah, looks interesting. Questionable about having Kanye West in the trailer, but here nor there.
Yeah.
It's not like that's going to be the soundtrack. I think that's just simply what the trailer is, just to get you hyped, and it got me hyped. It's like, yay! it's I don't know. It's the primal like ape brain that I have is like, yes, I want to see men fight. Even so, when am I going to see these muscly men fight, Kendall?
Yes.
I'm not questioning anything.
We will be watching Gladiator 2 in cinemas from the 14th of November.
This year. Okay.
Yes, this year. Yes.
Nice.
All right, we got one more trailer to check out. And this is a teaser for an upcoming film called F1. I didn't know this movie was being made until last week, basically, when they started talking about it. I mean, I'm sure it's been mentioned in the past before, but it was not on my radar. But anyway, this trailer, holy fuck. This is how you do a teaser trailer. Teaser trailer 101. Even to the if you're gonna use a fucking pop song, rock song, this is the vibe. This is the way you do it. You don't cut it in. You can cut it in with orchestral whatever, but you have to do it in a certain way. But for some reason, this trailer just the song, Queen. It's Queen. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Queen. But like the way that it just fit really nicely. But yeah, Joseph Kosinski's the director. He gave us Top Gun Maverick. I don't know if you can tell from the impeccable cinematography on this, the way these Formula One cars are being captured here is kind of mind blowing. And it looks incredible. Like all the techniques he used on Top Gun Maverick, he's bringing in here and making it look like Brad Pitt's actually driving an F1, and clearly, of course, he's not. But it's just great. I was so happy after I saw this trailer. Like I'm not huge into F1. Like, you know, my brother's obsessed. But you know, a lot, and you know, Fulya, I know you're a fan, so I'm excited for your thoughts on this. But no, I dabble from time to time. You know, I really should watch Drive to Survive. But yeah. But this looks incredible. Like, just as a feat of filmmaking, I think this is going to be a spectacle to see. And I'm really glad it's going to be in cinemas and not just on Apple TV Plus, because
that's good.
Because this look.
No pun intended, but it was going to be a write-off for me if it was.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I agree. Because that would have been the biggest, like, dumbest decision, you know, since they got rid of Batgirl, basically. So yeah. It looks great. I'm here for, you know, apparently Brad Pitt's playing this guy who, you know, that is involved with this fictional racing team, and yeah. It's just, I don't know. It looks great. It looks like, it's going to be a spectacle. So I'm excited to watch it. Fulya, what did you think?
I knew that this was coming. I knew, like, I think it was sort of like kind of mentioned in the news here and there, and especially from watching Drive to Survive a lot.
Right.
It was, I think it may have been mentioned in the most recent season. But yeah, look, I don't watch the F1s like consistently myself. But I do sometimes keep up with the news of it. I love, because of the fact that I've also worked at the Formula One myself for a good, you know, pretty much for my whole of my 20s. And just knowing that when I watched this trailer and I saw familiar faces, I was like, oh, they've got them in. Like, they're like members from actual F1 teams. Some of the drivers are in this as well. You know, actual. They do, like, even though Brad Pitt's particular F1 team is fictional, they kept the other real ones in this, because I feel like the way they're filming it at the F1s when they're actually happening, which is insane. Because there's an F1 race almost every weekend or every second weekend. I think there's like 1 or 2 races per month throughout the year. And they have a break in the summer, sort of like European summer, Northern Hemisphere summertime, because of the heat, of course. But yeah, it looks insanely good. The cinematography to this particular trailer, it looks awesome. I love the way they made Brad Pitt look like he was actually driving an F1 car.
Yeah.
And that kind of, like, driving an F1 car you need to have gone through so much training for that. Not to mention the fact that you had to be racing since you were a child, like go-kart racing, essentially, to get to this point. To be able to, if you've got an interest in driving F1 cars, you need to have been driving go-karts from when you were a kid, and then just kept up with it, and then just kept going with races and just moving up in the ranks in different cars and all that sort of stuff. F1 racing is a dangerous sport, man. And so I love the fact that they're bringing in, they're doing a Formula One film based around the sport. And it's going to be interesting into how they're going to integrate the whole, like, that whole environment of being an F1 driver. Like, Drive to Survive is a great way to get what's happening at the moment at, like, the real races throughout the year. And you get an idea, like an overview of what happened during the races, what the teams have been up to, you know, on and off season. You know, what kind of training that the drivers go through. The fact that they're making it into more of a fictional world it's kind of exciting. very exciting. And yeah, I'm just man, I don't know what else like I can say, but that I'm glad that it's come to cinema for one, because I would love to see this on the big screen. It'd be really awesome. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. I think out of all of the trailers, this is my favorite one.
Yeah. 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 If I wasn't so biased, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get over my bias. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
great trailer.
Yeah, I just can't get over how awesome it looked, and just it just got me hyped to want to see it, you know?
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Mike, what did you make of it?
It looks pretty.
Mm.
I am not a member of this world, and I don't know anything about the world of Formula One or any racing whatsoever. But it is interesting that there's a lot of these movies coming out, which is interesting. There's like its own little genre of movies that are coming out. Like you got Ford versus Ferrari, you got Ferrari as well. And you got this one, and you got Gran Turismo as well, which is sort of adjacent as well. So we're living through a racing renaissance movie genre happening, which is quite cool because everyone's looking for the new thing, and I think this is going to be the new thing, and which is interesting because. Obviously, the Formula One is a company in itself, and this is an ad for them. So it is quite interesting.
Well, it is using the F1 logo, so yeah, it is 100% trying to get people to watch it more, I think.
Yeah. So that's cool, interesting, but there's probably a reason. Maybe there's a dip in viewership. Don't know, and they said, we can get Brad Pitt as a racer. Will I see it? I don't know, but good that it's coming to cinemas as well. It looks very sharp, so maybe it will be a good IMAX experience as well. Maybe a bit loud.
It would be. Well, if you're talking about the actual cars themselves, like their engines, they're not as loud as they used to be. Yeah. Like they're still loud, but they're just not as loud and high pitched as they used to be.
Yeah. Still loud though. I'm an old man.
It's too loud though.
The old man in you is just like new.
It's like, turn damn loud.
Turn down the volume.
Turn down for what?
Yeah, pretty much.
So when's this coming out, Kendall?
Yes. Well, we don't have an official Australian release date yet for F1, but you can catch it in cinemas in the US next year on the 27th of June.
Yeah.
So
probably roughly around the same time, maybe.
Yeah, this time next year.
We'll be millionaires.
Ho ho ho.
All right, that's Trailer Park done.
Hey.
Huskies.
Which means
what?
It's time
Cool.
for the moment, the
Aha.
segment, the section, the part, the place, the spot, the corner of the galaxy we like to call
Gun culture.
Yes, it's popcorn culture time. It's popcorn culture time. We are here to talk about this week's episode of The Acolyte, which is episode 7, Choice. Choice. This was certainly a choice.
Oh.
This
Wow.
episode.
What's that supposed to mean?
I have a lot of conflicting emotions about this episode.
Okay.
Overall I enjoyed it. And it was good to get some answers to certain things and certain theories we've been discussing, whether or not they're true or not, what really happened on Brendock. The fact that obviously what we saw in episode 3 wasn't exactly how it played out. That was cool to see. Probably didn't need to be the whole entire episode, I guess, considering how many scenes were reshown. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of new. Like, there was a whole lot of new stuff, obviously, with the Jedi's point of view and getting their perspective on why they were there. That was really cool, and their take on the situation and whatnot, and understanding Soul a little bit more, I guess. But I don't know. I wasn't expecting the whole episode to be on Brendok, because I was just sitting there I'm not even just waiting, to go back to Elsha and Chimera action, but I'm more so just like, I figured, because last week's episode ended with Soul being like, I've been waiting 16 years and I'm finally going to say to you what I've been wanting to say to you, and then and then we don't even get any of that. Like, it's just, so I don't know. It's just an interesting choice, and I guess I can respect and appreciate that they're doing something different with a flashback episode, and in terms of reframing it, and because it is not usually typically how it's done, I would say. But no, on the whole, I really would have liked to have had more of Carrie Ann Moss as Andara. She was cool. She was really cool. I really liked her in this episode. She was a big highlight for me. I liked her as well. And then getting to see a little bit more of what this coven, what their abilities are, and what, sort of reframing what they mean in terms of, because I've been thinking about them a lot, over the course of this, and the fact that we're getting to see a different side of the Force, and that it's not just the Jedi that can use it. Like, there are other cultures that get to use it. So I kind of like how this episode also brought up this debate against, should people interfere with the natural order of things in terms of other, people and things they don't quite understand because they're on the outside, and all of that stuff. So that was interesting. But yeah, dialogue's still not great though. There's some weird dialogue moments, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it was just, it was a bit of a, like, we were on such a upward momentum with this show. Like, the last 2 episodes were really good. Like the Chimera stuff, the Stranger stuff, that was really, really interesting last week, and then the week before that. So the fact that we're kind of pivoting a little bit more than I thought we would. Like, I knew obviously we were going to get these questions answered this flashback. It was very obvious, but I just wanted more of the other stories that are going on, because, like, as we were hinting at, before we started recording, they've got a lot to wrap up in one episode. They got a lot of loose ends to tie off.
I wouldn't be surprised if the last episode is going to be roughly the 50-minute to maybe an hour.
Yeah, I would expect it to be about 45 to 50 minutes. I think we'd be lucky to get any longer than that, to be honest. But we'll see. They've got a task ahead of them, so.
Oh yeah.
Season 2.
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
Not the way the reaction has gone to this show. It's been very
mixed. Yeah.
Very mixed, unfortunately. Yeah. But anyway, Fulya, overall, what did you think of this episode? How'd you go?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed to see that we went straight back to the same episode as episode 3, but just in a different perspective, which I suppose is okay because it's from the Jedi's side of things instead of the witches this time. But like you said, they also showed us, scenes that we already knew about, and they just pretty much just copy and paste in, up until the point where we get more from that side of stuff. It was. Yeah, I'm a little like I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one, because I'm a little sort of, I don't even know the word that I want to use.
Conflicted?
Yeah, conflicted. I feel like there were maybe 1 or 2 contradicting things that were in episode 3 compared to what happened in this version of the episode. It's a little interesting, especially more specifically with like May. So that's why that's why I was a little bit like, but that makes no sense compared to what we saw last time, you know? So I was very, very conflicted about this particular episode because like it was good because we got to see a bit more from a different perspective, but at the same time it was also I've already seen it kind of a vibe type of thing. But yeah, I don't know really what else I can say overall. Like I'm very sort of on the fence about it.
That's very fair. Mike, how about you? Are you sitting on the fence with us, Humpty Dumpty style?
I don't know. I'm a bit more intrigued in the sort of storytelling of it, where how each episode has sort of its juxtaposition of its own thing. I mean, each episode's title has something / the opposite, and how this one is the opposite to episode 3 of Destiny, and this is Choice, and it's that sort of thing, and how this is sort of like a retelling of what happened, and the interesting bit is this the real truth, or is there a mixture of both, and you have to take from both sides of episode 3 or episode 7. And I suppose that's how legends are sort of told as well. Like it's always a word of mouth, and it's always memory is part of your emotional attachment to the actual event as well, and how this feels like it's soul telling the story, because this is a very soul centric story, and where number 3 is sort of what Mia's Osha's
Osha.
Yeah, Osha's interpretation of what happened, and how she feels at that present time, and thinks her sister deliberately burnt down the house, and we see in this episode it was a mistake. It was an accident, and yeah, bit clunky, yeah, but I think this involves it probably after rewatching the entire thing and actually getting it at the end would actually make sense. But yeah, bit clunky, but I like the fact that it's actually giving nuggets of explanation of people's motives, especially in the first couple of episodes, and where we weren't sure what was going on, especially with what was happening with the Jedis, and how their choices, especially I can't remember the Padawan's name, Torben, and how he decided to end himself. And it's like, that's weird. Why? And you get to see his guilt, and because he chose to do his actions in this, and so, and overall, I definitely enjoyed it. Maybe a little bit of a step down from previous, but. I was expecting like the explanation, but I wasn't expecting it to be the whole thing. Yeah, but I don't know. And the next episode, yeah, it's probably going to be longer, or they won't explain it, and they were hoping for a season 2, but who knows if they were going to get that chance. So sticking landing is going to be hard.
I agree. Yeah, and not just because it feels like they've written themselves into a kind of a corner, but just because of how inconsistent this show has been since the beginning. I think it kind of spells a little danger ahead. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I never thought I'd find Jason from The Good Place very attractive, so here we are.
You know what? Neither did I.
Hey!
I don't find him
That's
attractive
right.
at all. Ha.
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 And I find everyone
Um,
attractive. 'Cause I'm a pansexual. Whatever.
Anyway, yeah, so Fully, I kind of wanted to talk about what you brought up with the sort of inconsistencies in this episode, because one thing that, like, as a storytelling device, kind of going back and showing a flashback from a different perspective can be like a really cool method to, expand upon an event and what's happened, right? And that's what they were trying to do here, obviously, and it kind of succeeded to a degree. But when you get a scene like this scene, I'm sure you were maybe referring to, but the scene for me that really stuck out was when May started the fire.
Yes, that's the
Because
scene I was talking about too.
yeah, because there are no Jedis present in this scene, either in episode 3 or in the present time. And we have 2 different versions of May starting the fire.
Yeah.
Which are very similar, but are very, very different in terms of the intention around it. Like, in episode 3, we're seeing May, who is so angry. And I remember we talked about it, and I remember myself saying it felt so harsh for her to be suddenly like, oh, I want to kill my twin now because I'd rather her die than leave me, sort of thing. Like, it seemed very extreme.
Yeah.
So I was really hoping this episode would kind of answer some questions around that, and like you get these glimpses of Mother Coral riling May up and getting her to, lead the charge.
Get angry.
Get angry, get mad, give it given to your anger, sort of stuff. And but then by the time she gets to May and she's she's sealing her in and stuff, I was like sitting there. I'm like, okay, all right, what's gonna happen? And then it was just the opposite. It was like the fire was basically an accident, and she tried to put it out. She didn't know what to do. Like, the book caught fire, and then it was all over from there.
Thing, right? Because she's got the lantern in her hand, and then she's got the journal, and she brought it up next to the fire as if she was intending on lighting it.
Yes, agree.
And then all of a sudden she's like, oh shit, it's on fire. I have to let go.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It
No.
just really threw me off.
No, it doesn't. And you could explain it away if there was if Sol or Torben or someone else was seeing this, because then you can kind of get both perspectives as to why they would change this moment. But there's no one else involved in this moment.
No.
So why is it different? The only thing I can think to explain it is Osha clearly remembers things one way because she was told, right? We get at the end of the episode that we get the beginning of the lie. May burnt down your home and everyone died. So she's probably in episode 3, if that's supposed to be her perspective, her thinking about it, she's reframing this in her mind through her trauma as, oh, May wanted to kill me. May locked, like, it's true, May locked her in, right? May locked them all in. She kept them all inside. So, and then, so then it kind of makes sense to some degree for Osha to be like, well, my sister wanted to kill me, right? Because she killed everyone. So that, so I think that's the only way I can kind of reconcile it. I don't know if that makes too much sense. It still I probably shouldn't have to do that work. I don't know.
No.
But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think so. And the way I see it, with when you're saying that there was no Jedis around, I think, and this is like theory, that this is all what Sol is telling Mia, and maybe Mia is sort of also filling in those gaps and actually saying, "No, I didn't do that. It was an accident," and she's sort of filling that gap.
Yeah, and that's fine, and that makes sense. But I feel at the same time, shouldn't we then be cutting back to that conversation if that's the intent by the writers? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But then again, I suppose episode 3 was all on Brendock, wasn't it?
Yeah,
There was
it wasn't going
there were no
back.
cuts. Yeah, so maybe that's like you said earlier, Mike, with the destiny versus choice, and how and how like the episode titles have all referred to the two different journeys the twins are on. So you're probably right in that sense. That make like it would have been weird thematically if they'd suddenly just gone, oh, we're gonna flash back and forth between. Even if it would have made more sense, I guess.
That's why I find it interesting that this sort of take of, like, even in Star Wars, that this is all pinned on we can't really rely on our own memories because we can self-sabotage. And that's why that's why it feels like with Osha remembering, no, I can... Like, this is 16 years ago. It's like, I can distinctly remember my sister trying to kill everyone and sort of manifesting this sort of false memory, but it's an emotional memory because she believes that her sister wants to kill everyone and she's evil and of course she thinks cutting to the back, but she thinks she's dead. And then all of a sudden, all of this emotional and all this memories are coming in. It's like, who's right, who's wrong? We can't remember. It's like, and yeah, it's a very interesting take when it comes to like remembering memories. And
yeah,
it is interesting.
Yeah,
and I still want that last episode just to fine detail key in what this show's all about.
Yeah. The last episode is going to tell us what this is.
Yeah. Spoon feed me more.
I need more answers. Cool. Well, speaking of like, bumping up against things a little, what did you guys think of Indara's decision to tell Sol not to face the council regarding what he did and what he's responsible for? Because him and Torben the Coven obviously are not entirely innocent in this either, but the two of them, especially Sol, I was not surprised, but I was also surprised that he killed Mother Anasea. But but the fact that the entire episode we kind of see Indara as the moral compass, as the calm and focus-centered Jedi, right? She's the level head, and then at the end, even though it's the right thing to do, and Sol admits, I must face justice for what I've done. She's like, no, you're going to destroy her life if you do that. So it's just, I don't know. I get it to a degree, but I also don't. I don't know. What did you make?
It was a choice.
It was a choice, exactly. A choice was made. Fulya, what did you think of that? Did that sit all right with you, or?
I don't know. Like, I'm still kind of thinking about that as to why she didn't want Sol to go before the council. I'm not 100% sure as to why that might have been. I don't really have an inkling as to why that might be. The fact that she mentioned that it's going to destroy Osha's life if they do that, because it means that she'll probably end up being imprisoned because she's part of that, like, that coven. And because of that, and the fact that even though she's innocent, she hasn't really done anything, she's still affiliated to it.
Yeah, and then there's just you know, the fact that you know, she wanted to be a Jedi, and she
Yeah.
trusted she trusted Soul and believed in him and
Yeah, that
whatnot.
too.
And then that kind of unplanned betrayal, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he let May die as well, even though May's not dead, but you know.
Yeah.
There's our buddy Soul, our buddy old pal.
Yeah.
is
Well,
through it.
you know, the tagline for this episode, "A bit of truth is revealed." Yeah, they're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we learnt a lot from this episode in terms of what, you know, Master Soul done during that time. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting how that's gonna end up, like that information when it's, because May already knows what happened. She saw it with her own eyes.
Yeah.
Whereas Osha has this, like, she was told what to believe.
Mm.
And that's what she's known all her life. So the fact that now, you know, that Osha has no idea, but Soul said, "I will tell you in time, when you know, when the time is right," sort of thing. But then now she's been kidnapped by the stranger, and so I have this feeling that he's gonna tell Osha before Soul gets to.
Yeah, and corrupt.
And corrupt her.
Yeah.
And turn her against Soul, to then fight against him and all that sort of stuff. And then we're going to get this whole, "you don't understand, this is what happened" from Soul kind of explanation. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how that last episode's going to run. Just based on the fact that this is the information that we've got now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the easiest path, I suppose, to
Yeah.
predict.
I hope what I've just predicted is not how it turns out, but that's just my gut feeling.
No,
I mean,
I don't think there's going to be much explanation from characters. I think they're just going to be a fight.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's all due with emotions instead of
yeah
sitting down and talking with a cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm sort of getting I'm getting this vibe between Andara and Soul, as if it was the whole Obi-Wan and Anakin sort of scenario.
I mean, there's definitely parallels, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the reason they're on Brendok is because they're looking for a vergence in the Force. You know, and that's Anakin. Like, that's part of how Anakin was created, you know.
Yeah.
So, they're looking for that, and then here they find this coven who have come here for the same reason, basically, and use, you know, to tap into that, and they've used the vergence to create Osha and May.
To create,
you know,
life.
Yes.
You
So
know,
and there's a lot. Sorry, I was just gonna say, there's a lot of parallels between them and then, you know, and the dynamic between Soul and Indara is very, very similar, of when Qui-Gon's asking the council, you know, to train Anakin, and I actually, while I think of it too, I will say I'm a little disappointed in my theory about how I thought maybe the training the twins was the reason why they brought in the rule that they're too, you know, that Anakin's too old to be trained, that whole age thing, because like this went pear-shaped, but no, that just seems to have been always a rule, is like that you're just too old. And I liked that twist, I will say as well, that that they actually weren't intending on testing them properly. It was just it's part of their
It's easy
ruse.
to indoctrinate children when they're very, very young.
Yes. But anyway, Fulya, what were you gonna say?
It's not, I don't know whether this is something that, like, it doesn't really relate to this particular conversation. However, it just sort of reminded me the fact that Osha and May were created through the Vergence. Also the fact that there's a possibility that they maybe just one person split into two. When they mention that, that was like a kind of moment for me. I was just like, I mean, that could mean, like, especially considering the fact that they keep saying the whole, the two is one sort of thing that they've been saying. I can't remember the actual
I
quote.
can't remember it either.
But yeah, it just kind of kept me sort of thinking about it when they mentioned that, and I was just like, okay, that does sort of make some sense as to why one seems a bit more sort of on the evil side and the other one's more, the good. So it was definitely sort of an interesting thing that popped up.
Yeah.
That I was very it just sort of perked my ears when I heard it, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all to do with like the left brain and right brain. One's more calculating and the other one's more emotional, and you definitely see that in Osher and in Mayo, of which is which.
Yeah.
And which side is more susceptible to emotion, and the other one more opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense that they cast the same person to play both parts. So it's not just like identical twin. It's more to do with them being the same person.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Otherwise, you would hire twins.
They do it with the kids.
Yeah, well,
It'll be
the
cheaper.
kids, they did.
In the long run.
Yes. Cool. I kind of want to talk about Torben for a little bit. Interesting character. We didn't really get much from him when he was, doing his levitating with a terrible beard, going on. But to kind of learn a bit more about him in this episode was cool, because like, I wasn't expecting to get the other side of what happened to him, like when and Mother Anastasia is like getting inside his head using her force sensitivities to get in his head and stuff, and she's really playing on his desires to leave. Like, he doesn't want to be there. I found it really bizarre that he didn't know that's why they were there. I mean, it's not the first time the Jedi haven't been completely upfront about something, I suppose, and it won't be the last, but that did also kind of rub me the wrong way a little bit.
Especially the apprentice. Okay. He doesn't need to know.
Yeah, exactly. You think he should know what he's doing. But anyway, so that the fact that he didn't even know what they were there for probably adds to his itchiness to get out and get home.
The boy wanted to go home.
He just wanted to go home. I know. It's kind of and it's weird because Indara's such a, like, as I said, she's such a centered, well-rounded, really Jedi, and for her not only her Padawan to be so kind of driven by desire, which is something that the Jedi are really not supposed to be, and then you have Sol, who's driven by his emotions. Like, it's really, I don't know. I wish we could understand what Kelnaka was saying, because I would like some insights from the Wookiee, please.
Yes, I know, right?
As to what he's doing, what he's thinking. But anyway, I don't know. I liked the scene when she's playing on his wants to return home, and that I watched a video that reviewed this and picked it apart a bit, and it kind of, the vibe was like, because they felt it was weird that he kind of, I didn't think it was weird that he sort of snaps a bit when he realizes, oh shit, the twins are the virgins. If I get them, we can fucking go home. Mm-hmm. But they were kind of rationalizing that Mother Anastasia planted that seed, like, just was like, oh yeah, you want to go home? All right, I will get you home. And then he gets to go home, right? After all this bad shit happens, of course. Yeah. But, he does get what he wants. But I don't know. It was just a bit shit to see a Jedi kind of, like he's a Padawan. I guess he's learning, but I don't know. I would have thought he would have been less petulant about the whole thing. But his like fight scenes were cool. Like I liked the scene where Kelnaka's possessed, and they're all the three of them are all fighting each other and stuff.
That
yeah.
whole scene.
Yeah,
Especially at the start with like Soul and the others like about to spar off, and then the Kanaka.
Then the Kanaka. Yes. Yeah, that whole scene is great. We'll probably talk about it a bit more, but yeah, Torben, interesting character. I feel bad for him a little, but I don't know.
I feel like that, given that he's still a Padawan and he's probably, like, as you said, he's still trying to fortify his mind from being susceptible to this sort of stuff. But obviously in a moment of like, because you can tell that he's the emotional type of Jedi as well. And that he can't seem to hold back on it. Like he's trying his best, but he's still got that little bit of emotion in him that's controlling like the way that he does his stuff with his training. And so I think that's kind of why, because especially considering the fact that he was also quite afraid when they were going into the Coven, even as a team. And that's probably what was like the little advantage that Mother Anastasia got. So she took it to be able to get into his mind about it with it all.
For sure.
Yeah, to be able to then be like, yeah, I can see that you don't want to be here. Let me help you, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm undecided if like the Coven are light or dark force users, or if that terminology doesn't apply here. But it's a very very much a dark side strategy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it really is. And the fact, Torben, I just feel like he, especially considering that he's still quite young as well, like, and he doesn't really he wants more out of his Jedi training than just this. And and I think his emotions just got the better of him in that particular scenario, so that's why he was a bit more susceptible to it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Mike, any additional thoughts on Torben?
No, he hates field work, and he just wants to go back to the council.
So I go home.
I want to go home. I want some mum. Oh yeah, I can't. I need to cut all ties with my family and be in this cult. Anyway, Jonestown. But yeah, and just the fall of everything just come together. It's like the wrong choice after wrong choice after wrong choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Or should we talk about the climax of the episode then?
Climax.
Yeah. So Torben's like, okay, they have a really high M count, and they're two souls in one soul in two bodies. Yeah, say the word. Midi-chlorians.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Yeah, so, and he's just immediately like, great, that's my ticket home. And then, he races off, and then they don't really do a good job of trying to stop him, which I found odd as well. They were just kind of like, they just kind of walked as he was like running away. I'm like, guys, you could Jedis. Anyway, so he gets away, and then Indara decides to send the other emotionally compromised Jedi to try and save
the one so emotional he's not allowed a
Padawan. Yeah. So that's only just going to end well. And then they go in and we get the beginning of the confrontation, and Mother Coral is just not here to make friends. She's just she's just like, nah, you're trespassing, get the fuck out. I don't care.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I
kidnap
choose-
my kids.
Yeah, I choose mum. I'm a mum in this situation.
Yeah, and that that does definitely make sense. I also wonder if she's like of the race of Darth Maul, because she's got like I kind of had a
Yeah.
I kind of had a like I've been trying to rack my brain and think of where I've seen her look before, and like she's very much got the whole. I don't know why it took me that long to
That's because
realize.
Maul chose.
I mean, Maul's
to,
red.
Well, he chose to tattoo.
Paint him.
Yeah.
Tattoo himself.
I think it's more of a tattoo then, because
than
essentially
paint.
they're all flesh colored.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
whatever colored flesh you have.
Yes. They don't all look red and black.
No.
Yes. But anyway, the other, interesting thing about this confrontation was, seeing Sol and Torben coming in and going up against Coral and Mother Anastasia, and and this was one of my least favorite moments in terms of the writing this episode. And it's such a cliche, but it's the fact that if Anastasia had just said, "Yeah, you can have Osha," instead of being like, "Why did you come back here?" like monologuing at him, and like I'm just like, come on, if literally, because literally, as soon as she turns into that really cool, smoke thing, that we didn't really get enough look at, and that and then he's just like, oh, you're doing something, and then the fact that Sol thought that was Osha, my guy.
Yeah, that kind of like threw me a bit. I'm like, dude, that's not her.
No, it was so like in the way she like the way May reacted to being called Osha, like it was so obvious that it wasn't her, like even if you couldn't see the marking on her forehead. So that was just felt a bit off to me, and and then the fact that immediately as soon as Sol stabs Anastasia, and she's like, I was going to give you Osha, she decided to go, I was going to let her go. I'm just like, why didn't you just
talk,
just have a conversation, like
just
anyway,
out, man.
Yeah, I get it's like that whole cliche thing of whatever, stab first, ask questions later, I suppose, and Sol is very emotional and he just wants to protect. Like, it is rather interesting that he just comes in with this mentality of like, these kids are going to be hurt. Like, he doesn't actually see anything really bad happen to them until later.
When they were interviewing them, the kid, I can't remember which one. But
yeah, May talked about the sacrifice thing.
Yeah, because in episode 3, she's sort of misremembering what Mum said, that you need to sacrifice yourself, as in you need to sacrifice your like your pleasures and all that to be one with the what do they call it, the string, the threads.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So misremembering and saying it, and of course it sounds bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was all just
stacks up, and then Kaplawi.
And Kaplawi, yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. And then the like, the explanation. I was actually really curious, first of all, what Anastasia was going to do, like how May was also kind of turning into the mist sort of thing, like, because then the next time we see that use Coral is possessing Kelnaka. So like, what was Anastasia doing to May? Like, I don't know. That was really interesting. And I wish we'd gotten to see what she was going to do. But it's
Spice
fine.
Girls. When
Spice
two
Girls.
becomes one.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But yeah, as soon as Anastasia dies, Hell goes to handbasket pretty damn quickly.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and Osha witnesses Sol
Yeah.
kill her mum. So
No, May.
May. It was.
Yeah.
Was it May?
It was May.
Yeah, it was May.
May.
We just went through it. Yeah. Yeah.
Deserves a rewatch.
Yeah, so May, yeah, like the
The
clear.
mistake was it wasn't May. It was Osha.
Yeah, he thought it was. Sol thought it was Osha initially.
And
it
I thought
wasn't.
it was Osha, but it was May.
Yeah. It was
May.
May. Yes. Yes.
See
yes,
what
I
happens
just...
when you get all confused and it's like, smoke lady.
Smoke lady. Like the way this played out, it was a decent enough end to the episode in terms of like everything coming to a head, and I guess getting a little explanation as to how the witches all died, because Indara released Kelnaka, like whatever she did to Mother Coral made the entire coven sort of pass out, and then they couldn't get out, so they all just died. And then I think for me the bigger shock was seeing Sol having to choose between saving May or Osha. That was intense. Fulya, what did you think about the way the ending all kind of played out? Did you enjoy watching it?
Yeah, look, the fight scene was definitely, I think, the highlight of the episode. At the end, just watching, Kalnaka and Torben going at it. But, at some point, Sol was trying his best to get Kalnaka to come to his senses and all that sort of stuff. But it had to take Indara to intervene and use her force, to use the force on him to get Coral out. Or like, I don't know, that's the other thing too that I'm kind of wondering, if that was Coral that was actually possessing Kalnaka, how did Indara, did she remove Coral from possessing him, or does she just kill her, or whatever it was? Like, I don't know what that force did to get him to come back to his senses exactly.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Like,
a wizard did it.
Yeah.
Witch.
Yes, a witch.
Yeah. So that's kind of stuck with me a little bit as to, now I'm kind of curious as to how that all worked out. But yeah, and then, and just that, and then just, the whole Sol having to make a decision between. And that's the thing too, right? He's just standing there watching those two let them play out while everything's collapsing and burning down. Dude, use your force, get them out of there ASAP before shit hits the fan, Before you have to make these tough decisions. No. It's gonna have to just fuck.
God damn.
Yeah, it did kind of really feel like, they got Osher and they didn't try and save anyone else.
Yeah, it was just very kind of like a throwaway kind of a sort of story. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm very sort of like on the fence about this episode in terms of how I feel about it. It's just there have been some good things about it, but then the other side of it is just like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's me with this
because it's a series of unfortunate events.
Fortunate events, right? Yeah.
Which is a TV show that also Patrick Wahlberg is in.
I was I knew you were gonna bring that up. I haven't seen him in it, but yes, apparently it is true.
I saw half of the first episode and I thought, nah, not for me. But that's just me. Could be different.
That is just you. Speaking of you, Mike, your thoughts on the climactic scenes of this episode before we wrap up.
I love the fighting scenes in this TV show.
Yeah, they're great.
I think they're absolutely well done. They're absolutely gangbuster bloody cool Corey, and I was a little bit miffed that we didn't get to see a Wookiee like don a lightsaber and actually go gung ho. But we get to see it in this one, and I'm glad that they saved it for this because it was loved it so much. And you got the wire work, and it's like this is what I enjoy, even if I'm a bit miffed about the story and what it's trying to tell. At least we got the fighting, the great fighting scenes, and we get to see Jedi just great Jedis. And none of this CGI forced jump weird stuff. It's like, huh? And they take the PNG and go, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
But loved it. I loved it a lot. Yeah, a bit weird of cutting the connection to the Covenant, and then that means it's like, oh, where is our stuff going to go? Oh, it's completely die. So, that's convenient and weird choice. But who knows? Maybe that's what Sol thinks because he didn't really see it happen, really. It was all magical and stuff. Maybe it's something else.
Maybe
and then,
it is.
Yeah, and then the choice between the girls. He was trying, and then he went, I need to get out of here. We need to get out of here, so I'm going to have to choose the one I like so I can live with that decision for the rest of my life. And everything seemed okay because she survived somehow. But that's the proof that she survived, so... And yeah. What else?
Oh, I don't have anything else to mention.
Yeah.
For this one, I think.
And
Unless
Jedi's
you guys...
keeping secrets.
Yeah, never ends well.
Always keep secrets.
Can the next episode start with the fact that he's talking to May while she's strapped down on that table bench thing?
No guarantees.
And the first line will be, and there you are.
And here you are, 16 years later, before me now.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you the truth that you already knew because you saw me kill your mother and you saw me not save you. So what's the point of this story? Well, I don't have one.
This is an explanation. You may not believe it, but this is the truth that I know of. But I could be remembering wrong.
Yeah.
So tell me about Darth Teeth.
Darth Teeth.
Yeah, let's. Yes. What was the really good name? Wow, I've forgotten it. There was a name. Oh, Smilo Ren.
Smilo Ren.
Yeah.
Milo Ren.
Smilo Ren. It was great.
Wow.
Well, I think he is a Knight of Ren.
That's one of the theories, yeah.
Yeah, and not necessarily Sith.
No.
Neither.
Yes, because he didn't say he was a Sith. He said, you might call me a Sith or whatever.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah.
I'm so disenfranchised. I become my own thing. I'm going to call myself Ren.
Ren.
And then after and the previous and the people in front of me, behind me, are going to be the Knights of Ren, and he is going to be the original Ren.
Yep.
And not Plagueis.
Smilo Ren.
No,
he's no. God, no, he's not Plagueis.
No.
God, if they did that, I'd just be like, I can't. No.
I'm out.
I'm out of here.
Waste of time.
Nice try, show. Yeah. Thanks for the thirst trap, but I'm moving on.
We should have talked about the boys.
Yep. Yeah. Well, one episode left of the Acolyte now. Going to be very interesting to see how it's going to land.
Yeah.
We all hope it's good, but you know, who knows? We'll
We
find
shall
out.
see.
We shall see. All right.
I would
those
just be
are-
happy with a. Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm literally wrapping up. Go on. You'd be happy with what?
No, that's it. I'll be happy with my reaction of, yeah, it's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm so tired. It went over my head. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, fair enough. Yeah, if it's just fine,
Yeah, it's
then
okay.
we'll be like, all right, cool.
It was
That
an
was a
interesting
Star War.
story. It's good.
Yeah.
I might get touched into the old Republic. High Republic.
Yeah, I wanna go down a rabbit hole and find out what this hyperspace disaster was.
Apparently, that is a thing.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Yeah, it's in the Legends canon or whatever.
What do you mean
Yeah.
it's Legends canon?
What do you mean it's not real? It is real.
It is real.
It's just not Disney real. All right. Let's get on out of here, shall we? Those are our thoughts on episode 7, the penultimate episode of the Acolyte. Choice. And as I said at the top, choices were made. Choices were made. Cool. That's it from us. Nothing to plug, nothing else to talk about. That was certainly a show that we have shown. So, without any more ado from me, a 1, a 2, a you know what to do.
And
that
was a
was a
podcast
called
Fred.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest for content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
If you watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future goodness. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow before you head out, twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I've been the man with the new background on my ballista.
And
you just experienced
a podcast.
a podcast called Fred.
Transition.
Remember to eat meat.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and Jodie Whittaker is going to do more Doctor Who. Yay!
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
That's
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's alright. Some
Sorry.
quickie Doctor Who news.
Yeah. Jodie Whittaker's coming back. Yeah, boy.
Oh, remember to
More
look after
Yasmin.
yourself and your mental health.
And more Yasmin, yes. Yes. What's my sign off again? Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, laters, gators, and
See. Woo.
we stuck the landing, sort of.
I love it.